And hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, maybe. Welcome to another setting of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. As today, Simon, after having something to eat and stuff, and been around Seb doing what he needed, he'll try to contact his alpha. Didn't see her last night, and kind of wants to talk to her about something. So he'll kind of track her down because that's something the off reindeer can do.
Yeah.
Although his spider senses are the reindeer style, so reindeer senses.
Yeah, let's not insult reindeer by calling it spider senses.
The reindeer senses.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell that she is over in that direction from the direction of the old Strider's cabin, which still hasn't yet been torn down. I think that will happen probably after downtime.
Yeah, he'll go this way.
Yeah. I mean, that's where it leads. It leads to the Strider's cabin.
So he'll go to the Strider's cabin. Is she in front of it?
No.
No.
The
Okay.
door's closed. Um yeah, I mean, if you tell me what you want to do, but the door's closed.
The front door's closed. I try to look because from what I remember on the picture, there was quite a few windows, quite open, quite windowy. So yeah, he'll try and look if he can see her.
That picture was all kinds of fancy. Um, but yeah, I don't imagine it was actually quite that fancy. But yeah, there were windows. So you look inside. Depends where do you look in? Because I'm assuming that the living room and probably one of the bedrooms are probably the windows you'd have in the front.
Yeah, probably.
So which one are you looking in?
Um, first in, he'll first look in the living room.
Nope, you don't see anything in there.
He'll look in the bedroom afterwards.
There's a pile of blankets with her head sticking out of the top.
He'll tap the window.
Um, I mean, I probably best. Do you have it set up on a thing?
Yeah, I have it set up on wait, maybe I set up on the wrong thing. No, it's on Werewolf Dice Roller.
Okay. Um, doing perception alertness, which I think is actually 5 dice for her. I think I actually bought her alertness to 3, but let me double check that. Because I'm looking for is one success that she'll notice. Because tapping on a window is not the loudest thing in the whole world.
Okay.
I think I bought her alertness to 3. Let me look. I did. She's terrible with empathy, but she's a little better with. Okay, let me do that then. Yeah, that's definitely enough that she'll. The only reason I did it is because she said she literally didn't sleep last night, and she's been up like at more than 24 hours at this point, I'm sure. She could have been real sleeping hard. So, um, but yeah, you see her sort of roll. She looks like she's coming awake. She's not quite awake yet. Like you can see she's sort of stretching and stuff like that. Doesn't quite realize that there was actually a sound, but she is waking. You know how it is when you hear the sound while you're
Yeah.
still asleep. You wake up and you don't realize what woke you. Like
Yeah,
that.
what?
Yeah, yeah. Um, and after a couple of minutes, if you don't do something else, she'll sort of sit up and stretch out because she had no intention of sleeping all day. She probably went to sleep sometime around 1, and it's like 3:30, so it's been like 2.5 hours.
Okay.
And she'll kind of look up, and I'm assuming they would have taken out all the window coverings. At that point, would notice that there's a creeper in the window.
Yeah.
And she'll just give him a look and kind of rub a hand back through her hair, which is probably a little bit of everywhere. And she'll gesture towards the other room where the door is at, and in Pack Link you get, why didn't you just come inside?
I don't have the key. Oh wait, it's open, isn't it?
She just nods, which you can see because she didn't lock it because she left that alone. In fact, the only thing that's probably left in here now, unless Kailani didn't come and get it, is that tea cabinet. And that's the only thing left in the whole place, which Chloe wasn't going to lock her out of. She's not going to keep her stuff from her. So yeah. So she just at that point she just nods at you like, yeah, it's unlocked.
Should have checked. And she'll just come in.
And while you're doing that, she's sort of stretching out a bit because sleeping on the floor is never the most comfortable thing in the whole world. She should have shifted to Lupus, but literally didn't think to do it. And she was just tired, passed out. And she'll probably be just walking into the living room at that point. And you can see, I mean, this is the same clothes from yesterday if you're the kind of person that pays attention to clothing.
Just a sec. Okay. See, she'll smile at her. Hello, sleepyhead.
Hi.
So, I kind of look towards the room.
There was nothing else in that room, by the way. Just the blankets that she rummaged around and get. Right, exactly.
What happened in there? You kind of look bust out. And she'll look at her, and you look as bad as I do.
I just took a nap. Didn't get a lot of sleep.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just a night's sleep, really.
I'm looking around the place, around the house. Gonna miss it, huh? Gonna miss this place, huh?
She looks at him and she just shakes her head.
As in, no or yes?
Shook her head no. And she'll be, no, not really. I mean, it was just a convenient place that I knew was still there that nobody was likely to bother me. And I was able to borrow a couple of blankets from some kin, and easy enough, right?
And hold on. So, how come you came back here?
Because I had to be here in the morning.
Oh, right. Cub training.
Cub training. I have duties. One of them is to make sure the cub is fit and in good fighting form. So that's a process we're working on.
How is the cub?
He's pretty good. I mean, he flipped out at getting hurt, but like, who wouldn't? Like, when you take that kind of hit and it's like your first hit as a Gobru.
Yeah, that was something. I warned him that when he gets well, as he gets to live on Sept, it's going to get even more dangerous than what we thought. Because let's face it, it's true. I mean, look at the creatures we fought before. Look at the vampires. Look at the battle we fought.
He's a very logical, sensible kind of person. And I think he's going to make a good addition for us. And she's going to kind of rummage in her bag, which is probably sitting next to her, and like pull out a comb and kind of comb her hair out. So at least it looks like she combed it today. And she'll, while she's in there, she'll rummage around and find a couple of bottles of water, because she usually has a few in there. And she'll kind of look to him like, kind of offering one of the bottles.
Yeah, he'll take a bottle. He's good. He's got good den parents. He'll make it.
Bites of the week is questionable, but he has good intentions, I think.
Yeah. You two, let's say with a den father like him, it's good that you're around. I mean,
I don't have a problem with him being around. I think he's a good representative of what other people who aren't as open-minded as me might say and might think. And he needs to hear all sides of a story so he can make his own decisions on things.
which is why it's good that he has both of you. I don't think, especially by the week on his own would be. I mean, he's a great den father. I'm not sure he would be enough for just to teach cubs what.
Not for this sept. This is not a traditional sept.
Yeah.
And we can't. That wouldn't be okay. For it to have just him teaching our cubs. But to be fair, I was den mother before he was den father.
Yeah.
He showed up later.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't he telling the cub that Weaver is the true enemy and that anything that's not us is the enemy?
Yes. That Weaver was the enemy, and Weaver is not us, therefore it is the enemy. Yeah, he has totally said that. Obviously, there are a variety of beliefs on the subject, but I fully intend to present my own on it as well. So that he doesn't like think, hey, then father must be right on everything. Or at least if he does think that, it's because he chose to do it himself. But I'm not going to tell him what to believe. I'm just hoping to get a good strong Cleath out of him. That's what I'm hoping for.
No, not. Anything is that's not it's not us, therefore it's the enemy.
Well, you and I both have reasons to know otherwise.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm sure Den Father. Now that I know that, I'm pretty sure the Den Father would have something to say about our relations with other people.
He probably would, but that also isn't his business.
Exactly. He can say what he wants. It's not going to change how I feel about her and her friends.
I'm not even worried about Dimitri's friends. I'm just worried about him.
Have you got any word from him?
No. I think he's probably still in their place. Whatever this is, it must be pretty important.
Yeah. This is. I don't think it's it's important. It's just not the same. She's taking care of her mother because her mother can't take care of herself.
That is important, actually. But at least you can email her if you want.
Yeah, we keep in contact. I told her I had a promotion. It's the only way I could see it to make her understand without telling her the entire truth. By not telling her what she should know.
Oh, it's the same thing that I pretty much told Dimitri when I became a foster. And Adrian, actually, when I became an Adrian as well. He also got a promotion at some point while we were together.
Good for him.
But the difference being that I actually kind of have more of a clue of what his promotion meant. but I don't have any particular need to go into that right now.
And he'll smell. Maybe I'll meet him one day.
I hope so. It would make my life a lot easier right now if I could actually talk to him. Well, more complex and easier all at the same time.
And he'll just nod. Yeah. Must be something. Can't be easy.
Jacob and Will were both there when I got married. Jacob doesn't judge me for it.
I wouldn't think he would have done. He would do judge you. It's Jacob. He's different from the other silver fangs.
He says that whoever you love is your business.
Different from the other silver fangs. On the spot.
Yeah. That's the main reason I really wanted to keep my place in Queens. I don't know if I ever told you, but that was actually Dimitri's apartment before I moved in.
I didn't know.
Yeah. I used to live in Brooklyn when I first moved here. Then we had an issue. My sisters and I had, well, I moved in with Dimitri in Queens, and then there was an issue that we had to go and handle in the apartment next door to theirs. And that's when I realized it wasn't safe for them to be there. So they moved to Queens with me.
What happened there? Well, I mean, next door to their place.
This asshole, well, to be fair, I don't know if he was an asshole beforehand, but he was drinking a lot of tainted beer. You know what that can do to a person.
Yeah.
He began abusing his girlfriend or wife, or it doesn't matter, to be honest.
Did you rescue her?
Yes, we did. And I don't know what happened to her. But she had a chance. And that's all I can do. I can't make humans do what they don't want to do. But she had a chance to make a better life for herself. And I killed that asshole. No regrets.
Good. You made that judgment, and if it was you took that, well, yeah, yes, no, you took that choice, and if anyone could have made a better choice, then they should have been there. Nobody can judge you on that.
I wasn't the only one there. I was only a foster at that time, and Eric was my alpha. I was the beta. And Eric was there, and Felix, and Will.
What happened for Eric to leave?
I'll tell you. At least I'll tell you what he told me. Well, what he told us. But I'm going to ask that you not be too loud about like spreading it around. In fact, I would just keep it to yourself. The only reason I tell you is because you're in this pact.
Until not.
We had a lot of pack mates die. First, Aaron, who I've spoken to you about Isaac, right?
Yeah, you showed me pictures of him.
Yeah. And she actually smiles a little bit at that. One hand sort of subconsciously goes up to the necklace without even thinking about it. But she doesn't, she just continues while this is happening. Isaac was more important to me than. I mean, I'm not saying that not any of my pack wasn't important to me, okay? But you connect with some people more than others. And that was how it was for me and Isaac. And when Aaron died, that's how it was for him and Eric. They just connected more. I lost my brother and he lost his brother. And then we lost Ping. And then we lost Isaac. And while he didn't connect to Isaac as much, it actually was on the mission that he was leading that Isaac died. And I should have died. And Jacob almost died.
That sounds like one hell of a mission.
It was his Adrian challenge. But let's put it that all of those deaths apparently started to weigh on Eric. And he and I have never been all that close. And he started questioning everything and talking to Reindeer about it. Basically, he got mad. He got mad and he went off on Reindeer. And eventually, Reindeer told him to get out. So Eric got out. Because Reindeer is supposed to protect us. And Reindeer didn't protect any of them, at least not enough.
He'll smile. He'll let's see. He'll try and perception empathy. Let's see.
Sure, she's not really hiding much of anything at the moment, so.
I've opened my sheet before.
Are you just trying to see if she's lying?
No, he's just trying to see how she feels. To be more precise, he's trying to see if she needs a hug.
I'm just waiting for a roll.
Yep. Yeah. I should buy empathy.
I'm only at 2, and perception's only at 2, so I feel you.
I have 3 perception, but I don't have empathy.
So I still have more dice than you.
Yeah.
Sad. Very sad. It's a good roll, though.
Look at that. You can.
Well, what I'll give you is that basically when she was talking about Isaac, everything was a lot more personal and a lot more close. When she was telling the story about Eric, it was a lot more like it's not like there weren't any feelings, but it was a lot more controlled.
Yeah.
It was like she was just telling you the story with, a feeling of, I'm not sure what the right word would be. What emotion would she be portraying at that moment? Confusion, probably a touch of confusion, because she doesn't get how someone could do something like that. So probably a little bit of confusion more than anything else. So it's you can judge whether that would be hug material or not. But yeah, like once she changed subjects to Eric, it was a lot safer of a subject for her.
Yeah, he'll come and wait. How short I guess is Chloe again?
She's 5'2".
Yeah, Sammy's like 6'4", so he'll bend down pretty much and like kind of give her a tight hug. I'm sorry for what you've lived.
I mean, she'll hug him back. I mean, it's not going to be a crazy long,
Yeah.
creepy litany breaking hug, but there is a hug. No litany breaking.
No litany breaking.
No litany breaking. And yeah, she'll sort of settle down to sit, like lean against a wall. Actually, she'll grab the blankets and sort of fold them, so in such a way like that they're kind of thick, and she'll lay them out so there's enough room for two people to sit on it, and lean them against the wall. So it's kind of so this is a little padding.
Yeah, he'll sit on there too. On there too.
Yeah, so it's not directly on the hard floor, which we could do, but you know, why not? We have blankets. And she'll be like, I will never fully understand why Eric did what he did and why Kailani would. At least Eric did it in such a way that he wasn't insulting us personally. He was insulting our totem. And I haven't really known quite how to handle that. So, and even to make it worse, he was a worm foe, you know? How do you handle that? So I just let it be. Just kind of let it be, and that was it. Kailani had to go out in a torrent of insults.
Yeah, I don't like the way she left. While I still talk to her and I still want to talk to her, the way she left it still leaves a bitter taste in my mouth.
I refuse to talk to her. If I need her for a business to handle as a mission or anything like that, then I'll handle it. But I don't need her in my life.
Yeah, he'll nod. Sorry, the dog's going crazy.
No, you're fine. She just sort of shrugs. Kai has her own issues, and she will have to deal with them. The only thing that really got me about Eric is how, despite everything, he still ended up joining a pack with Felix. But his own stupid ass fault, not mine.
That brings up my second question. What's the deal between you and Felix?
I would be curious what he would say about that. Not that I expect you to be a spy, but I can still be curious.
We've talked a few times, but this subject never came up.
Yeah, I know that you seem to be really, maybe not best friends, but at least friendly with him.
Yeah, we get along.
Be careful. I mean, I would say, you know, that he's learned his lesson, but I'm not entirely certain that he has.
What lesson would that be?
It's his fault that I have most of the silver scarring that I have. You've seen it. In fact, you're looking at it right now if you're looking at my face.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it.
That's his fault. I'm not going to deny that I couldn't have possibly done a little more if I'd realized what I should be doing, but it was the first time I had ever tried to make any kind of a deal with a spirit, and considering that he was a theurge, that was really his baby.
So what happened?
Eric and I were considering him for Striders. So we wanted to see him in action. He was just a Cleath. He had been around for, what, a few weeks or something in the Amazon? That's where he found us, was in the Amazon. And I said that I asked him if he would help me to speak to a spirit, in particular, apparently a Loon spirit, so that I could learn Luna's armor. He said yes, he would help, and he would go research. So the time comes. Eric is going with me because we both want to see what he does, you know? And he explained that there were a bunch of different things going on with the Moon Bridge at the time, and that is where you would normally find a Loon spirit. And he also mentioned that they were a bit on the tricky side, and that based on what we knew, it would be best for us not to risk the Moon Bridge at this point in time. So we took that advice. I mean, I'm not so, and I decided that would be fine. We could go for a different armor gift. Oh, see, I can't remember the name of it. It's the Get a Fenris one. And that one is when you learn from an earth spirit. So we went way out in the middle of absolutely nowhere in, South America, drove out to this mountain, and we started climbing in Lupus because it's a mountain. A lot easier to climb in Lupus, right?
Yeah.
And we get up there, and by some sheer strange luck, instead of finding the earth spirit, we found a Loon spirit there. She was dancing. She was beautiful. And I thought it was fate, almost fate, because that's what we wanted anyways, really.
Yeah.
So he went up and spoke to this spirit. And keep in mind, I didn't know how to speak to spirits then. I'm sure you know that I can now.
Yeah, I've noticed.
And he started talking to the spirit. And I didn't get to hear everything that was being said, but he did translate some of it so that I could respond because I was the one who wanted to make the deal, right? And I told him, the spirit asked why it is, that you would come here looking for me, because they know it's not a normal place that Loon spirits hang out. Obviously, the spirit would know this. And I explained that, and this is what I told Felix to say. I told him to tell the spirit that originally we had wanted to find a spirit like her. But since we had been told we would be unable to, he had come looking for a different spirit that would be able to help us not nearly as well, but that we were very grateful to see her because she was always our first choice. I don't know what he said after that. I don't know what he told her. I just know that she got very angry. Apparently also we should have had a chiminage prepared, and I hadn't even been aware of that. Which kind of tells you something about Felix there too, right?
Yeah.
So basically, I was given a chance, one chance to earn the right to earn the right to learn that armor, to learn that gift. I was to take the hit of a lot of silver over a lot of time. And I mean, I'm not talking one big blast of silver. I'm talking a little bit here and a little bit there, and just slowly building up my rage. Just, and the goal was not to frenzy. You can see, and as she holds out her arms, you know, because she probably wouldn't have been wearing her jacket inside, and she had all the blankets too. So she usually wears a tank top underneath whatever else she's wearing, so you can see it all. The silver, I mean, she's pretty much just kind of showing it off to you, even though you know where it is. You've seen her in every form, and every form has the same scars. So it's just really symbolic at this point, holding her arms out and gesturing towards her face, and then kind of touching her, like the back of her neck and down her back as well. And she's like, you can see the results of the damage that of the injuries I took from the silver. But you know what? I passed that. I basically did a little dance as the silver just kept pelting at me. I was in lupus still at that point. And I did not falter. I did not frenzy. So, to add more shit on top of this, having passed that, she told me that she would put the kiss of silver in me, and that's where she'll touch the back of her neck, like right where that silver was, because I'm sure she knows the exact spot where it was.
Yeah.
And she'll literally turn around so that you can, you know, so that you can see where she's putting her fingers at. And I was to bear her mark, bear that silver for 2 turns of the moon, for 2 months, 2 full cycles. And it wasn't just, oh, there's silver in there. There's silver in there plus a absolute shit ton of pain. And I was a little weaker for it for 2 months. Not only that, but my connection to Gaia was less. But you know what? By the time you've pissed off a spirit enough, it's really better just to take the shit they're throwing you and try to move on with your life.
Yeah.
So I went through it all. I did all of it. In fact, I became Adrian while that was while I still had silver in me.
Impressive. Wow. That's...
Yeah. Thank you. But I think you understand, though. I mean, we get back. Like, basically, I was left just about dead. I was incapacitated. Like, I basically stumbled my ass down the mountain once that was all done and crawled into the car in the back seat and just passed out for the trip back.
Yeah, silver really hurts.
You have no idea unless you've taken that kind of a hit. No, I'm not trying to say your experience isn't anything. But until you've experienced that, I question whether you guys really know just how much it can hurt. The unrelenting hurt of it for 2 months, plus nearly dying from it. Slowly.
No, what I got was pretty...
Yeah, it was.
I could feel it. I could feel it melt inside me. But compared to something that lasts there's a difference between one big pain and a pain that lasts months.
2 months. But at the end of those 2 months, I was able to learn Luna's armor. But to add one tiny detail into this, when we got back, like as soon as we got back on Sept with that borrowed car, Eric picked up Felix and just slammed him against a wall. And basically just yelled at him about what he had just let happen. Eric at that time knew it was a debacle. I have no idea how he suddenly decided it wasn't a debacle when he decided to join forces with him. And the reason I think maybe he hasn't learned much from it, I mean, he's the one who almost lost himself to the Weaver, last I heard. And that was a lot more recent. I'm not personally angry at him about that, but I think I do see it as evidence of the kind of person he is.
Yeah.
So
I think especially with Weaver, he might think he did not let that his lesson, but I think in the end he might have learned his lesson with most spirits, but he has something with Weaver. And while Weaver is not what Spicy Week says, not the prime enemy, it's not.
But it is an enemy.
It is still, yeah. It's still an enemy. And while we can sometimes work with the Weaver, we should still question it, Weaver should still, the dealings with Weaver should still be taken with a grain of salt.
And carefully. But there you go. I'm not trying to tell you what you should think, but I think you can understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I had no idea.
These days, I don't focus most of my thoughts on him. I just, basically, I finally had a talk with him where I was just like, we're never going to be friends, but we can work together and do whatever we have to do and just leave it there.
He never apologized?
He gave me like a kind of half-assed apology one time. He never once fully apologized to me. He never just said, I'm so sorry for my part in that. And that would have made so much difference.
What did he say?
I don't even remember anymore. I've tried to move past a lot of it.
And you never found out what he actually said to the Rune Spirit?
Nope. And by the way, I don't need you to get involved in this. I'm just telling you the story. I don't want you to try to fix me and Felix up. Like some matchmaking, whatever.
He'll smirk. No, I mean, if I ask him, it will be for myself to get to know him better. Like I wouldn't do it to try and fix you two over. Everyone deals with who they want. I'm not going to make anyone deal with anyone or stop them from dealing with anyone. That's not my business.
Well, I can tell you this much. He did tell me once that just seeing me was a reminder of everything that had happened. And it would have to be. I'm one big walking reminder of his mistake, aren't I? As she, kind of put, again, kind of rub the hand down the side of her face. There's no denying it. It's on my face. Even if I fully cover every part of my body, I can't cover my face.
Yeah, he'll kind of look confused. So I don't see how that would put him away from trying to see. On the contrary, it's, our mistakes are part of us, are part of who we are, just as much as our successes. We might try to deny that with our failures, but that doesn't mean they never happened.
But I can see where actually getting along with me might be a little too painful because he would be reminded of it every day. As it is, he still sees me around. And I'm pretty certain he's not a big fan of me either. I'm not really certain as to why that is. But I'm pretty sure. I mean, he doesn't go out of his way to say hi to me either. I just would prefer not to live my life being nothing but constantly angry. And while I still have my reasons for what I feel, and I believe them to be legit, there's enough anger in my life. I am a Garu, and I'm surrounded by other Garu. I mean, why should I make it worse for myself? So, I guess my point really is, you ask for the story, and I've told it. And I'm going to ask that you not really, I mean, I'm not going to say keep it a secret. But, I mean, maybe not like go around telling everybody about it. It'll just be seen as bad mouthing at this point, to be honest. Even though it's all true.
Well, the reason why Eric left and your differences with Eric will never leave my mouth. And the differences between you and Felix, if I ever talk to him about them, it will be something I talk. It will be between me and him only, and I'll tell him it's because I asked.
Eric and I mean, we're certainly not best friends, and I would never say we actually know each other well. That was kind of a wasted opportunity. But once upon a time, I did trust him. I knew that if I ever got hit and it was too much, that either he or Aaron would jump in front of me. I knew they would always protect me because I was their packmate. And that bond is, even if they're not necessarily your kind of people, it still means something. I couldn't tell you how many times that Eric has probably saved my life. Even when Isaac died, Eric was the one who killed all 3 of those tainted Macaulay. None of the rest of us could get a decent hit in for the life of us. So I'm not going to say that I hate him because I don't. And I mean, honestly, very honestly, it's probably thanks to him that I'm alive. And, Aaron too, actually. Just because you have reindeer doesn't mean you're not going to die.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen how tough reindeer makes us, but
it does. Reindeer most certainly does that. I guess my point being is that I would rather just let Eric live. He's out doing his own thing, and there's no point in really worrying about that at this point. So that isn't really a subject that, I mean, I just don't imagine that it's something that, I mean, it's just, I guess it's just something I don't really care enough about to try to sort out for real. I'd rather just move on. And honestly, I'd probably rather do that with Felix as well. Kailani, I'm finding harder than that, but I'll leave her alone if she leaves me alone.
I wish me with Eric, I think maybe I wish I could have gotten to know him better. I thought he would treat me a lot harsher than he did.
He's not here anymore, so I don't feel too bad saying this. And you're a packmate as well. He had a fairy girlfriend once. He told me about her. So there's at least some amount of kinship, I guess, that he actually didn't really judge people the way some people did.
I wanted to talk to him face to face before he left, but when he left, there was only 2 guardians, and that kept us busy as hell. We exchanged letters.
Fair enough. I really don't see why I would exchange a letter with him. I mean, I don't wish him dead, and I wish him well, as a matter of fact. We just have different paths and different lives to live.
I think Aiden and Dallas are the one that pissed me off.
They're both idiots.
Now Dallas is, I want to say, alright, not so bad when you get to know her off sept as a person, but when it's all about career stuff, and yeah.
Right. Okay, but she's the one who decided to beat up a bird?
Yeah, that's... I mean,
even if it's a fairy, still, that's some pretty heavy, obvious bullying to me.
Yeah. She doesn't... To her, she would say... I actually talked to her about it. She said she realized it that she realized it that he didn't know what was out there. He doesn't know that the out of character. What are the werewolves' names again?
Rokea.
He doesn't realize that there are Rokea out there. He doesn't even know.
Wait, this was about Rokea? Because she doesn't actually. Chloe doesn't know this.
Yeah, we've been told there are Rokea out there.
I mean, yeah, as far as I know, they are. In fact, I've met one once, kind of, but that was in the Amazon.
No, I mean, apparently, I've heard rumors that what's out there at the beach, just out there might. Not sure it's confirmed, but they might as well be Rokea. They might be Rokea. So
well, there's a lot of things going on with the water right now. Really,
not sure anymore. There hasn't been the accidents there was before, but yeah, back then we thought there might be Rokea in there, and so when Christopher made his joke, she got pissed. I mean, I got pissed. I just managed to keep it myself, but she went too far. I told her that.
right?
And
I mean, my biggest concern is we should probably not kill one of the fairies. It's kind of bad for, getting along with them. And they live here too.
yeah, and I tried reminding her that he couldn't have known that he just made a joke. But, well, you know Dallas.
I do know Dallas.
Besides, Christopher kind of became a good friend. He's a good friend now.
Just make sure to keep your secrets.
Yeah, I'll keep my secrets. He was, well, he is very close to Ruth too.
Still keep your secrets.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell him too much. I'll be careful.
Good. Maybe I'm not going to tell you who your friends should be. I honestly, I'm not sure I would ever considered any of the changelings that I actually knew pretty well. I would never have considered them friends. But I actually did really like Valeria. And obviously one of them is more than a friend. But yeah, I don't really think you could say that I made friends with any of them necessarily. They were just decent. They just seemed like decent, friendly people.
I think most of them are. The ones I met seem decent.
Sorry. He's met Hall and Misha, like, really?
I mean, he hasn't seen them do like. Yeah, she's more mischievous. Mischievous as hell. But decent. In the end, I think they have good parts. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm still careful around them. And I'm pretty sure they have their assholes too.
I mean, everybody has their assholes. That's not. I won't be telling this to Bites the Week, but I mean, I don't consider them enemies, obviously. I will, however, tell the cub that.
Yeah. He needs to know that Faye are not the enemy.
At least not to be assumed to be the enemy. They might still be the enemy. I mean, they're certainly not us, and they might still end up becoming the enemy.
Yeah, that's that's probably a better way to put it.
I mean, when you have creatures that can do what they can do, apparently becoming a bird, and God knows what else. Actually, I've been told that some of them have some way of basically making you do what they want you to do. Yeah, that was told to her in scene, by the way. She doesn't have the word for it, but she knows about sovereign.
Yeah, sounds powerful.
I mean, I've never had it done to me, so I don't know how powerful it is, but that is in fact something I was worried about.
But yeah, turn into birds. I think I saw one of them turn into a cat once. Not exactly sure. He went under their table, and then there was a cat under the table, and he was gone.
Oh, okay.
They're strange people. Well, there's also one of them. Actually, Christopher's girlfriend. Just and he'll think, how can I say this so it doesn't come out wrong? It's
I don't know.
wet wherever she goes. Like, I don't know. It's like her.
Oh, see, yeah, you can't see the dripping water.
Okay, you
But,
can't see.
but no, no, no. All you, the only thing that slips across is that smell of the ocean.
Okay. Yes, so she'll say there's she smells like the ocean.
Yeah, Will said something about that too. Someone, and actually, she'll reach into her bag because I actually have notes of things that she's been keeping track of about the other supernaturals. Let me as we take up a minute for me to look up things. She's actually flipping through notes.
Yeah.
Is her name Misha? Smells like the ocean. Japanese.
Yeah, that's her. Met her. I haven't met her as much as Chris, but yeah, that's her.
Got it. Yeah.
It's also very mischievous. I'd watch
She's what?
mischievous. I'd watch my pockets, or also, I'd watch. I wouldn't trust everything she says.
I'm giggling over here. Um. Oh, okay. I will keep track of that as she adds a little something to her to like the notebook probably.
This.
I'm just trying to keep track of things, with what Will dropped on me. So just I'm not judging people. I'm just keeping track of what's known about who. Don't mention that to too many people. I mean, they know,
No,
but they know that I'm doing stuff with supernaturals. They don't know exactly what that entails. So,
no, I'm not. I haven't mentioned it to anyone. I just, like I said, I trying to organize something between for you and Hall to meet, and for you and Christopher to meet.
okay.
I have heard his name, heard him being named as Hall by his friends sometimes.
I mean, let's be real. Some of us have multiple names too. I'm not actually as worried about what the real name is at this point, unless we need to ruin them.
True.
In which case, we need much more than just Christopher.
Yeah.
Or even maybe Hall is his last name.
Christopher Hall. Huh. Kind of does have a ring to it.
I mean, it's a real last name. It's a real first name. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Either way, I'm not actually that worried about that part too much at this point. It's more just knowing who the players are. Besides, if I want to find him, I can find him. I just prefer not to let people know I have that ability if I don't need to show it. It tends to creep people out if they know you can find them. And I don't blame them, to be honest. It's stalkery.
Yeah, I'd be kind of freaked out too. I mean, yeah, someone just being like, I always know where you are. And he'll like do that, just talk her eyes.
If only it was that easy.
I mean,
No, I mean,
unless they actively hide from you.
oh, see, she's never told you that.
Oh,
She has never told anyone that you can try to hide from her, because why would she tell you that?
I mean, yeah, I say, well, I mean, I know most people who have that gift seem to find people pretty easily.
Yeah, it's not like it's not perfect, evidently. I mean, when I was in the Amazon, I tried to find my mother, and I could feel her out there, but I couldn't tell what direction it was from. And actually, um, Ross Fire, um, he told me that he'd seen her and that she was known to be protecting um, a certain important place among the Pentex, that all the Pentex stuff that was down there. But whatever was going on, she had some kind of protection on her, or something that she was doing. Also, while I was down there, I tried to see if I could find my sister, and I felt nothing. I thought she was dead.
Was she? Or you found her?
But I found her. You were
Yeah,
there when I
oh,
did.
yeah, Zoe, that
Yeah,
sister.
yeah, and I still don't know what it is that stopped it, but for whatever reason, I could not find it. And right now, no matter what I do, I can't find Dimitri. I think I think I understand why, at least on that. Like I told you, I'm pretty sure he's in the Changeling's other place. As she very carefully doesn't say dreaming, although she certainly does know the word. I don't know if Ruth ever told you, but yeah, I mean, we can go to the Umbra. They have their own world they can go to.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, to be honest. Dimitri and I always used to talk about how sometime he would enchant me, and we would go on a trip through the dreaming so that I could see some of the interesting things in there.
What is it? No, wait, don't tell me. I want to find out. Yeah, I want to find out with my own eyes one day.
Hmm?
I say I want to find out with my own eyes one day.
Well, just keep in mind you won't remember very much. It'll be like a dream. At least that's how it is for me from the times I was enchanted. Because I was
Yeah,
enchanted a few times, 2 or 3.
I was recently told, actually by Misha, that Ruth had asked her to teach her how to swim. So that, and her smile, but you can see it's a sad smile, so that she could impress me. So she wanted to show me that she could swim. She wanted to impress me.
I mean, that's sweet. It sounds like she actually really cared about you.
Yeah, and hell, yeah. At this point, she's not like pouring out, but there's probably a single tear from his eye.
She's going to look at him and just be like, if I had alcohol, I would offer it to you right now. You need to cheer up.
I need, yeah, I need to cheer up. I also need to. I also need to start telling people can't push me around anymore. That they can't, well, not push me around, but they can't just tell me whatever they want.
What do you mean? Who's been doing that?
I feel that, I don't know, I feel that Del, especially, she hates it when when I mentioned that I was raised in a get set. I was raised to be a get. I think she sees it as me trying to be one, which is stupid. I've learned my lesson. I'm not a get. I was never a get. I'm a child of Gaia. But the way I was brought up, my parents, the way they brought me up, the way I was told what the Green Nation, the way I came to be what I came to be, it's all part of me. If I had grown up in a child of Gaia sept, or if I had grown here, I wouldn't be the same Simon I am today. And she might not like that, but she'll have to learn to live with it.
Honestly, why does it matter what she thinks? Why, if she doesn't like you bringing up that subject, then she can say that and she can challenge you to not do it anymore, and then you can name the challenge.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to tell her.
Like, and let it be. And other than that, she can just let shit lie because it's none of her damn business. I mean, that's honestly how I feel about it. And you guys are of equal rank, so maybe she should start behaving like, treating you with some respect.
And he'll nod. But you're right. I need to cheer up. And
Yeah, you know what? There's a bar that I know of, actually. It's run by kinfolk. Would you like to go get a drink and maybe some dinner?
And he'll nod. I was about to make the same offer.
Okay, since I mean it's not obviously not the same as regular people, but at least the kinfolk don't have to don't like freak out and run away. So it's a good start.
Yeah, that's always good, especially with our combined rage.
She shrugs. I mean, yeah. Doesn't mean they don't have every right to be scared of us, but I would be too if I was one of them. So, yeah. So, right, and she's gonna stand up and kind of and look at him, kind of waiting to see if he also is gonna stand up.
Yeah, he stands up.
She'll pick up the blankets and finish folding them the rest of the way because they were kind of long ways.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be like, maybe we can find those kinfolk I borrowed these from on the way out.
Yeah. Let's try and find them. And he'll smarter. Also, maybe one day we can find a good theurge to join us.
That would be nice, as long as it's not him.
I'm pretty sure. I hate saying never, but I'm, let's say, 99.999999999% sure it's not going to be him.
Well, unless he, maybe starts by doing some kind of an apology. And I swear to God, if you tell him that, I will murder you.
I'm not going to tell him that.
Good. But unless he were to say start by an actual apology, then we could talk. Until that day, it's whatever, and we move on. He might have been a Kliak when he did that, but you should really acknowledge your mistakes. And yeah, she's gonna, she basically has the blankets over one arm and will reach down to throw the bag over her it's actually a crossbody bag, but she just puts it over one arm for now. And then kind of wraps her arms around the blankets as she's, looking around. And
Yeah.
and she'll be like, "Shall we go?"
Sure. Let's go. And he'll smile. And he'll open the door.
Yep. And I'm going to safely say that I'm going to assume that they pretty much exit the building and go find some kin, which Chloe can find since she probably got their names. She knows who she's looking for because Pulse of the Prey. So she finds them, hands the blankets back, and tells them thank you, and they go.
So, yeah. And I guess now as they go off to their bar, we can end this in there. So thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers,